In the early 1850s, you had a line of forts that were put in between the advancing white civilization and the Comanche Nation, which is out to the west of us. Most of the people that were moving through this area had to be well armed and had to be able to make a stand against any of the hostiles that were in this area, whether it be Mexican, whether it be Native American, or even some type of animal. They had to be able to protect themselves and the families, so most of the people that came through here were well armed. The firearms to the soldiers that were coming in was their means of equalization. Your Comanche was very mobile and had a large quiver of arrows, and they were very proficient with their bow and arrow. And the firearm that the soldiers were carrying was used as an equalizer. The progression of firearms through what you're seeing in the cases, you're talking about the earliest muzzle loading, flintlock type weaponry, and then you go all the way through the Winchesters, the Colts, and what you're seeing in this collection is the advancement in weaponry. What happened is during the Civil War, the American Indian stayed with the same technological level that he had started the Civil War with. Going into the Civil War, one soldier had about the same firepower as one Comanche warrior with a quiver of arrows. After the Civil War, one soldier was equal to about 12 Comanche warriors. At that time, the technological advancements that happened during the Civil War in the weaponry gave the soldier a distinct advantage that was not going to be overcome by the Comanche Nation. Early on, the weaponry that was first brought into this area was the flintlock rifle. It actually had a piece of flint that was attached to a small hammer. It came down, struck a piece of metal, and flipped a pan open and set your powder charge off in what was called the frizzen pan. From that point, they moved on to the percussion type of ignition system. The advantage of the percussion system over the flintlock system was when the flint struck the frizzen, and there was actually a flash fire that happened right in front of your face. Any movement that you had during that flash fire that happened caused you to lose accuracy. The percussion system allowed you to place a cap over a small nipple, and this flash fire that happened in the flintlock did not happen in the percussion, and it was a more instantaneous ignition system that proved to be a more accurate and more reliable system than flintlock. Normally, somebody that carried a nice handgun also had a long-range rifle, a Winchester or a multi-stage rifle. Your handgun was used for close range. You had the second tool that was the rifle that was used for longer range. So really, to be well armed on the West Texas frontier, you had to have a good sidearm pistol, or you had to have the rifle in combination. Most people carried both. Normally, your cowboy carried a 6-shooter in his belt for short range work. If he needed to put down a cow or a horse, he used his pistol. If he needed to make a longer range shot on game, he normally pulled his Winchester out of his scabbard and utilized the longer range weapon for for the longer shots. They were two different tools that were used for two different purposes, and so you had the pistol and the rifle normally used in combination.